Hello and welcome to this edition of the New Indian Express Online. I'm Bansi Kalapa. With me is Mr. Sam Pitroda, who's, as all of us know, an inventor, who's essentially a telecom engineer, who played an important role in deciding the Indian technological landscape. Now, Mr. Pitroda, first question to you. Do you think India could have done more to attract investment globally towards India? Because a lot of investment has gone to China, a lot of investment has gone to Southeast Asia, while the big giant India, with such a huge potential, many say has not received its due share.
I completely agree that we could have gotten much more investment in India, but we don't have the infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the logistics. I remember having a meeting with some great business leaders in Silicon Valley once during Dr. Manmohan Singh's time. And the gentleman from Nike said to me, Mr. Pitroda, we would like to set up a factory for shoes in Kandala.
Okay.
Because it will be better for us to send products to Middle East from India than from China. But the key question was, would you be able to provide 20,000 employees? Would you be able to provide the right kind of water, right kind of logistics, transport for our suppliers? We have not been able to do a lot of that. Okay. And as a result, a lot of the investment hasn't really come into India.
Some of the investors in India, their biggest complaint is red tapeism. That there is too much of red tape. There's too many procedures to be followed, and that is one of the issues. The second issue is some kind of a sly inspector Raj. Some kind of monitoring by the authorities. Too many authorities to be taken care of. All that puts a burden. Number three, not enough connectivity so that their goods move out. Either train or port connectivity, rail connectivity, issues like these, or air connectivity. So all in all, it's like a huge problem for the nation, because at some point in 2019 2020, when they were talking of investments moving out of certain places like China because of obvious reasons, India couldn't do enough to really attract them.
I agree with all of the three things you talked about. Your third item of logistics we discussed earlier. But the procedures in India are too complicated. Too much paperwork required even now. People think they've simplified it. They have no idea of how complicated everything is. To be on the board, it is so complicated forms, reporting board meetings. It's just everything is bureaucratic because no one thinks of simplifying it. When they say they've simplified, it means it has gone from 20 pages to 18 pages. It is too much. I mean, look, I'm on the board of, National Herald, and I know the amount of paperwork I have to do. And I'm on the board of many companies in America. There's hardly any paperwork. In India, I have to list all my brothers and sisters and their children, which is almost, in my case, 60 people. I mean, what is the sense in collecting all that kind of information? But that's what India needs. Okay. And license Raj is also a problem in terms of people reporting, asking questions, ED coming in, income tax guys coming in. It's more of a harassment.
Absolutely.
And people don't like that.
Yes. You are also called the father of the pulses revolution. Now, there is a complaint. I spoke to a very senior IAS officer who is superannuated. He tells me that this government could have done much more in the 9 years it's been in power for agriculture, considering that the agri sector needs that, that thrust, that encouragement. And did we lose an opportunity is a big question to do more for agriculture.
In Rajiv Gandhi's time, we had a mission, technology
Mhm.
mission
Mhm.
on oil seeds,
Mhm.
where we really spent a lot of time in looking at mustard, soybean, dryland farming.
Mhm.
Uh, we were importing then about $1 billion worth of edible oil.
Mhm.
And we not only reduced that number to almost zero in a very short period of time, but we started exporting oil cakes. But this is something you have to continuously keep on doing and monitoring. We did not do a good job thereafter.
Mhm.
A country of the size of India must learn to produce our own oil seeds.
Mhm.
Our demand is high, will continue to remain high, and we need to bring new technology into agriculture.
Mhm.
Agriculture has been ignored all along in many different ways after Green Revolution.
Correct.
Green Revolution was a grand success.
Correct.
After that, our agriculture universities need to be upgraded. Agricultural research needs to be upgraded.
Mhm.
We need to really, on our own genetic pool, our own soil, and not worry about a lot of fertilizers
Mhm.
to ruin our soil. I think we need to preserve our soil. Indian soil is very special. What grows in Gujarat is very different from what grows in Karnataka, Andhra, UP, Bihar, or Orissa.
Absolutely.
Every soil has its unique characteristics.
Absolutely.
And that's our asset.
True.
An apple that grows in Himachal
Mhm.
is very special because of the Himachal soil.
True.
Now, we have destroyed a lot of that with over fertilization.
Mhm.
So we need to go back and really spend a lot more technology and time
Mhm.
to modernize our agriculture. And modernize our agriculture is not about silos to store grains
Mhm.
or just have cold chain.
Mhm.
It is also to worry about our microbes, our soil, and go to conventional method of farming. Our people had a lot of wisdom in the past. We have lost that wisdom. And I think agriculture deserves a lot more attention because we could be the food growing countries for the world,
Absolutely.
not just for India. Our fruits are very special, from mango to everything else.
True.
Take for example, jambun. Jambun
Yeah.
doesn't grow at too many places.
True.
World doesn't even know what jambun is more like.
Yeah.
It could be an exotic fruit. Export can be increased in our fruits and vegetables.
True.
So I think agriculture is a huge potential,
Mhm.
but it's not very sexy like AI and software and all. So
Mhm.
people don't pay attention.
Mhm.
I would like a lot more attention on agriculture.
Mhm. Okay, my last question to you before I let you go. India's agri sector has suffered because of insufficient investment on the water resources. Most water resources have either been insufficiently harnessed. For example, even huge states like Karnataka and Tamil Nadu need so much more to harness its water potential. States like Gujarat, states like Madhya Pradesh, states like a huge water potential has still not been harnessed, which is the reason why agriculture has not reached its full potential, experts say. Your take on that?
I think we are not good at water management. Look at the kind of floods we see every season.
Absolutely.
And then in the same areas, we'll get drought. So water conservation, the traditional villages all had ponds. Ponds were full of good water.
True.
Today, our ponds have died. Ponds are dirty, filthy. No one maintains our ponds well.
Absolutely.
We need to create more small dams. We need to charge our water table with the rainwater we get and not let it wash away. We need to create more structures to store water. Distributed, not a big dam, but small dams. Absolutely. In every village, in every city. I think collection of rainwater needs a lot more technology and focus and investment. Absolutely. Why do we have these floods? I don't understand. We have floods in Bangalore, floods in Bombay, floods in Delhi, and then Jamuna gets flooded, and then all of a sudden there won't be any more water left. Absolutely. There's just no reason for it. It's not rocket science. Absolutely. But it is hard work. And that's what we need. We need really huge investment in water management. True. And it has to be decentralized. Every village must collect their water to make sure that it will last for 2 years or 3 years. How can you let that water go down the drain? There'll be water up to your, knees during monsoon. And then you want a water to, water your plants. Just doesn't make sense. Absolutely.
So thank you, Mr. Pitroda, for talking to the New Indian Express Online. There it is. India could have done more on both the agri front and on the tech front. Mr. Sam Pitroda joining us from the US. Thank you for joining us with all those details.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.